Hello again. It's Paul with New Jersey Recovery and Wellness. All month long, we're talking about how to support a person who you know and love who has a substance use disorder to commemorate National Recovery Month. Thank you for checking out part 13 of our 30-day series. Come check it out. "13. Express your love." If you have a person in your life who has a substance use disorder, you need to learn how to take the good with the bad. And sometimes, unfortunately, interactions can feel like they're focusing on the bad, especially when your loved one is actively using substances or is still struggling in early recovery. Yes, we need to have conversations about our concerns and establish healthy boundaries with our loved ones. Sometimes we need to play bad cop to reinforce our limits and boundaries, but it's equally important to be sure that our loved ones know that they are loved. Take a moment to think about it. Individuals with substance use disorders often feel a lot of shame and stigma surrounding their substance use, and they tend to notice at least some of the impacts that their use is having on their lives, as well as the lives of others around them, the people they care about. If the only interactions they're having are perceived as negative, it may be difficult to gain the motivation to even consider trying something different and changing their pattern of use, or even getting sober. They may find it difficult to see hope that things can get better. We can help out here by letting them know that there is hope. You can support someone you know and love with a substance use disorder by expressing your love. Now, there's many professionals who've weighed in on the psychology and love and connection. We're not going to get into everyone's contributions. However, one of the mainstays that's been referenced innumerable times over 25 plus years is Gary Chapman's The Five Languages of Love. So today, we're going to explore different ways to express your affection for your loved one with a substance use disorder using Dr. Chapman's considerations. First off, we can express our love through words of affirmation. In other words, praise. Think about all the different ways that you receive praise in your life, maybe even ways that you've received praise today, yesterday, this week. People saying thank you, people saying that, you know what, it was really thoughtful that you did this, or you know what, you're really good at X, Y, or Z. There's lots of different ways to give affirmations to other people. Noticing positive attributes, thanking a person, taking a moment to let them know that they are being seen and that they are being appreciated. This can go a long way for anyone, but especially for a person with a substance use disorder who may be constantly shaming themselves. It's certainly helpful to know that they're being noticed and that other people are appreciating them. For a person that struggles with self-esteem, that struggles with confidence, these words of affirmation can be really, really important. The next language is acts of service. In other words, thoughtfulness. When we're going out of our way to do something for another person, we are doing much more than that particular act of service. We're letting that individual know that they're important, that they're worth it, and that we are thinking of them and we want them to know that they're worth it. So this, again, can go a long way for a person who may have an internal monologue saying that I'm not worth it. I doubt my own self-worth. I don't know if anyone else could possibly care about me. Through acts of service, we're able to demonstrate to another person that you do have worth and you are important, and I am here for you. The third language is receiving gifts. Now, this is probably one of the more common gifts that we may be exposed to in our particular culture. Think about norms surrounding holidays, surrounding birthdays, surrounding other family-based occasions. Maybe about giving a token or giving a gift, expressing our affection for the other person. You may also think of something like Valentine's Day and showering our loved one with gifts. So when we're doing this, this doesn't have to be a lavish or extravagant gift. You may not necessarily need to go out of your way extremely in order to give a gift. Even just little tokens can be of significance here. Letting the other person know that they are loved, that they are thought of, a little memento that they can take with them. You may even consider something along the lines of a picture, so that when a person is feeling rather low, just being able to have a token, have a picture, have a little something that they can take a look at to remind them that, you know what, there are people that are there. Next up, we have quality time. At the end of the day, this really comes down to companionship. We are all human beings. Human beings are social creatures by nature. By spending time with each other, we are connecting through being together. For individuals that have substance use disorders, unfortunately, more of their time might be spent in isolation or away from others. And there can be lots of different reasons for that. We don't need to get too deep into that now. However, letting them know that they are worth spending time with, that you want to have that quality time, that you are offering connection and companionship, this can be really important, so that when this individual does come to the decision that, you know what, maybe I'm ready to even think about doing something different, that they have people that want to be there with them as they're healing and getting well. This is a very, very important consideration. And the final of the 5 languages is physical touch. Physicality can be important in any type of relationship. And sometimes when we think about physical touch, we may think about intimate sexual relationships, physical touch being the act of sex itself. It doesn't have to be that, because there are many different types of relationships, not just physically, sexually intimate relationships. Take a look at the physicality between 2 friends. Being able to high five, being able to hug, being able to lean on a person's shoulder. This is still physicality. When you're thinking about a parent-child relationship, this may be sitting, holding their hand, nuzzling up against them. This could also be having a loving embrace, hugging when you're greeting or saying goodbye to a person. And then, of course, for our intimate partners, there is physical touch in the sense of sexual connection. Regardless of the type of your relationship, having this physicality is another way that we can express our affection to these individuals. Sounds pretty simple, right? 5 languages, 5 different ways to express my love and affection for people in my life in general, as well as, for our focus, individuals in our lives who have substance use disorders. However, you do want to keep in mind that not everyone shares the same languages. People may be more receptive to one particular language over another, just as the same way that people may be more expressive with one language over the other. What do I mean here? So let's say a person is showing me all of these different languages of love. My own personal intuition may be more receptive to 1 or 2 of the language over the other ones. So maybe acts of service and words of affirmation are really going to stand out to me, whereas receiving gifts is probably going to be less noticed. However, as an individual, I tend to express my love more by companionship and thoughtfulness. So the way that I receive affection may be different from the way that I give affection. Just the same way for you as a loved one, the way that you may innately give affection to somebody in your life may be different than the best ways that they receive it. You're going to want to keep this in mind when trying to reach out and connect with the people in your life who have a substance use disorder. Regardless of whatever efforts you have here, we don't need to get too in our heads over it. The important takeaway here is that for individuals in our lives who have substance use disorder, we support them by expressing our love. If these loved ones are going to move forward, they need to know that they are going to have people in their lives who love them, who care for them, and will be there for them unconditionally. How do you support a person you know and love who has a substance use disorder? Express your love. Thank you so much for checking out Day 13 of National Recovery Month. If you liked what you saw, please do click that like and subscribe and ring that bell so you can receive future notifications of videos coming up within this series or on this channel in general. And as always, we ask that you share this information with anyone that you believe would be helpful. So please do like, subscribe, and share. We'll catch you next time.